Hello and welcome to my new video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lex and we're back at it again with a Fernhaven update. Today I'm doing some speed builds for you to enjoy. We're mostly going to be focusing on some like waterfall overlooks like this one. I started by decorating the one that I'd previously built. If you want to see me bringing this together, you can watch my previous Fernhaven update video. I'm also recording and editing this on Valentine's Day also. This is the map, so keep that in mind for when we compare at the end, because it's gonna be different, chat, it's gonna be different. But I'm recording this on Valentine's Day, and so happy belated love day. I hope that you guys loved each other and yourselves yesterday. If you're watching this when I post it, Valentine's Day was yesterday. I love speaking as though I'm from the future. I'm currently living in Valentine's Day, but you know what I mean. I started off by editing this river mouth. So the first order of business, I wanted to create a waterfall view at the river mouth. I have a south-facing river mouth on Fernhaven. I wanted this bridge very close to the river mouth just to make things more easy to traverse. It gets on my nerves when I can't get around my island easily. Maybe not completely easily, but like it needs to be possible for me to get around, or I get annoyed. So anyway, that was my first order of business. Then I wanted to create a view for that bridge. So I made sure there was some water in between the bridge and the waterfalls, and then I decided to just wing it. This is me. This is the usual for me, if we're being honest. I haven't been planning my builds ahead for Fernhaven. Very strange for me. I was always a big planner for Animal Crossing builds, but this has been refreshing. I'm not gonna lie to you. So anyway, I wanted to give the river a little bit of a dynamic look. I wanted to have some dimension. So that and the cliffs, I kind of varied a little bit so that they weren't just straight lines. I feel like I catch myself doing that a lot more recently than I used to. So I'm really trying to catch that as I do it and create some dimension, both in my cliffs and in my water. So yeah, I guess that's a free terraforming tip for you. If you're struggling to make things look natural, keep in mind how often you have just straight lines. Fixing that will literally make your island feel so much more natural if that's what you're going for, as opposed to a rigid, very, very just structured look. This whole island theme is going to be forest core. I want to focus on greens and whites. I finally got some decor for it this time, so I'm putting up some vines, some weeds, some flowers, some bushes. It feels good. It feels good to finally have some natural decor. I'll also be time traveling during this video just so I can get things going, get trees to stunt, get bridges built, but that means that the weather might change unexpectedly like it just did. That's my bad. I mean, you know, these are also, if you are new here, I do Fernhaven on stream. That's why there is a stream overlay here. You can see my member goal and the recent super chats and members. This is because this is the map. Oops. I just yap, guys. I just yap. Anyway, I do Fernhaven on stream. So these are basically just clips. Oh, I also have merch. This is what it looks like. Link in the description if you wanted it. Silly goose themed, and every time I wear it out, I get at least one compliment. So take that as you will. You should get silly goose merch too. We have silly goose jokes in chat. It's a whole thing. Which leads me to what I was saying. Fernhaven comes together on stream, so if you ever want to catch these live and kind of see the full real-time building process, you can come and hang out with us live. We're live every Wednesday and Friday at 12:15 p.m. EST, or you can watch the VODs later. They're all posted afterwards. That's what I managed to do on this day. Isn't it cute? Especially with all the stuff growing in. Just a little waterfall overlook at the river mouth, very casual, kind of tucked away, not very central to the island, but I want the island to be about that, about having little like overlooks and views no matter where you are. I just want it to be one of those islands that you visit and you're like, wow, this whole island is photogenic. Like everywhere I stop, I could take a photo and it would be beautiful. That's kind of the theme I want, and like, I mean, no pressure, Lex, Jesus, like, just make the whole island photogenic, no problem. But we're working on it, chat. I'm proud of what we've done so far. You're also seeing me clean up a bit. I had so many white cosmos just planted back here because this is where I'd planted them to get to 3 stars for the island rating. Oh, here is the map as it stands. I was also walking through my villagers and who we're gonna keep, who's gonna leave. This is the campsite we built. Very exciting. This is probably the prettiest part of the island right now. I started pathing for this area just so I could kind of visualize, and I was like, okay, I can see how this is going. I moved the bridge that had previously been at Lobo's house, so now there's only one, and I decided to go ahead and fence this off so I don't feel tempted to make another bridge. So here I am just creating fences. I decided to do dual fences with the hedges and the country fence. Not the country fence, what is this called? I don't remember. The log fence, I think, is what it's called. So hedges and log fence. So I just wanted to start decorating this area because I feel like I've been running through different parts of the island and leaving a lot for myself to do later. So it just took a little bit off my shoulders to know that this was starting to be decorated. I mostly just need to add some items in later. This looks super cute. I also have mentioned this already, but the bushes will not be in season on the dream address. Like I said, this theme is green and white. Speaking of which, there's the plant shop that I went to with Terra Dad. If you saw the last video, you know I said I made a terrarium with this guy that I'm going out with. This is the shop we went to. Isn't it so cute? Shout out to the random person I accidentally photographed. Anyway. Speed forward, new outfit. I got an outfit change, a wardrobe change, if you will. And this day I decided that I was gonna work near the bridge we'd worked on just now. I was like, okay, this is a good spot. I wanted to make a corridor. I love doing that with cliffing. I love to terraform little pathways through things. So I decided to put my 2 cat villagers in the bottom left portion of the island, right next to the south-facing river mouth that we made a view for. And I'm gonna put one house on this cliff, which I decided to do Rudy. So my 2 cats are Rudy and Punchy. Rudy is a jock villager and Punchy is a lazy villager. And I was like, okay, makes complete sense that Rudy would be on the cliff. He has a little incline up, he gets a little workout every time he goes home. Punchy will be on the ground, and this will be my little forest cat neighborhood. That also gives you a reason to come to this side of the island to cross that bridge where I made the pretty view, other than just like looking at stuff. Here I am kind of planning it out. I'm really thankful, really grateful that I did plan it out ahead of time, because I did put the bridge, or the incline I mean, and the house too close together. I always like to do this before I move anything, before I set anything up, so I don't have to like constantly demolish or move houses. So that's what I was doing, just kind of planning out where everything should go. I'm really happy with it. I think it's gonna be super cute. But that was the goal. I wanted to make a little cliff with a corridor between the overlook for the river mouth and Rudy's house. And then I was like, okay, what if I make a view out the back of his house too? So here I am terraforming that. There was a cliff in the background if you didn't notice. I'm just boarding up this water so I can make my own waterfall. I was placing these so I could see where it centers up with the view that I wanted, and that's where I'm starting to terraform. I definitely wanted this tree to be centered with where you'd stand to view. My concept here was to do a tree and then have waterfalls on every side of it. So I wanted a centered tree and then waterfalls on the left, waterfalls on the right, and waterfalls potentially behind the tree if we could make it work. My whole goal was just to have really pretty water overlook going on here, and it was a trial for me, but I think it was smart to start with the tree. I always wish that I'd left room for just natural stuff later. So I think starting with the tree was a good idea. It was what needed the most space for itself. And then I went in and started working on the cliffs that I wanted in this area, and honestly they turned out really nicely. I kind of just got rid of trees and such as I went, part of the terraforming process. I also just trusted wasps not to kick my butt, and they didn't. So it was a fortuitous day, you could say, for the Let's Play community. But yeah, so I also wanted to have a waterfall behind the tree because that's also visible from Rudy's little lookout, and I will review that, by the way, so you can see what the build is starting to look like from Rudy's house. I think it turned out really cute. I was happy with it. It took forever to terraform everything. It was a really big build to do during stream, but I'm glad that I had like a sense of purpose and actual project. That's your second free bit of terraforming advice. If you can't figure out where to go with your island, maybe try drawing stuff out, or just pick a place on your island and be like, you know what, I am going to do something with this today. I am going to work on this area, make it look presentable today. That's what I did. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna build some kind of overlook over there, and then I just had to figure out how to get it started. This is what it's looking like so far. I was really happy with the way the waterfalls look. I love that motion in the background. It's just giving something to Rudy's house. I feel like the overlook could be boring, but it wasn't. It's really pretty. I also decided to add some dimension by putting this tree down here. I love putting little islands about, and like I said, this is a forest core island where I wanted to emphasize waterfalls and views, so it just made sense to add a little tree here, give it a little bit of visual interest outside of the moving water, and I think it looks great. The tree looks so cute. Everything is just feeling super balanced right now, so I'm excited to keep working on this area. I obviously am not sure what's going behind here yet. I don't know if I'll have something on the first cliff tier or if it'll go back down to ground level behind there. That's always the risk when you have cliffs like forward from the back of your island, is that you can obscure things behind it. So I'll have to do some thinking, kind of do some island planning to figure out how I want to use the space behind there. I then focused on pathing, which is low-key my least favorite part of decorating, but it turned out really nicely. I connected Punchy's house, Rudy's house, to the little channel that I made, the corridor, and to the bridge. So this side of the island at least has pathing. This is what the island map is looking like now. I feel like I did a lot of work for just this one little speed build, a couple of streams. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you in a future stream if you haven't caught one already, and I'll see you later. Bye!